Yeah. Okay.
Give me that. Welcome back, everybody. Your man Abdul Shaheed. We the Veterans TV show. We're live down here in Winston-Salem. Got a little technical difficulties, but we're going to bring it to you anyway. Right now, we have two of the upcoming legends. One is already a legend, your own, and just doing his own thing. So we want to let y'all guys know. Right now, we need everyone to chill out, stop doing what you're doing, and listen up. We have to our left, you're right, Mr. Antonio. What's going on, Mr. Antonio? How's everything going today?
Everything is going good. I'm enjoying the Black Theater Festival. They just had the gala tonight, and it was fantastic, as Mr. Hamlin would say.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. And the gentleman next to you, please introduce yourself to our viewers, please.
Hi, I'm Earl Billings. I live in Los Angeles. I've been an actor for almost 60 years.
That's what's up.
You might remember me from the What's Happening series. I played Rob. Antoine Fisher story. I did Antoine's uncle. Took him to see his mama. One False Move. American Splendor, movies we've done. I've done The Parkers, where I played Monique's father. I'm an old guy now, so I play fathers now. I've been enjoying myself down here because many of the people I've seen, I've known for a long time, 40 years from all over the country, but doing theater around the country, which I've done. You get to meet all these people, become lifetime friends. And we all work together from time to time. I'm on the back end of it, and I'm watching the young guys come in, and they're starved to know how they can do it, and what they need to do it, and we try to give them as much information as we can that they can't learn in actor school. They work, we tell them how to get work. You can be a good actor, but if you can't audition correctly, you're out there floundering about. So it's been a great experience now. This is my second time with this organization.
So tell us real quick before we go to the questions, let people know how they can get in touch with you. If you got a social media platform, telephone number you want to put out there?
Well, I will give you the email. The email is ebillings1roadrunner.com. I once 30 years ago gave out a telephone number, and it's not a good thing to do when you're known across the country because everybody want to call you. So that's the best way for them to, if they want to ask questions or they want to be a fan, they can do that on the email.
Brother Antonio, you want to share your connections with them, our viewers? Some social media or talk, whatever you want to share, please.
You can go to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, Hotep55. That's HOTEP 55, and Hotep actually means peace in Egyptian.
I appreciate that. Right now it's entertainment. And I feel that people need some entertainment. They need some joy. There's a lot of things that's going on in this world that a lot of people don't know about. And that's why we have this conversation, to enlighten people and get some action going. Not only just to say these are things that's happening, but things need to be done. We need to take action. Whether it's political, whether it's with our pockets, whether writing, people need to take action. Please, Tap, we've seen you on different podcasts and talk about different issues. Some of the issues are very serious. And we just need to know some of the issues that you have on mind that you like to address. So let the people know the things that we need to do, please.
Well, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Well, uh, the letter I received from Mr. Barack Obama, the former president, he said that we'll deal with humanitarian efforts in the Congo, in the Sudan, South Africa, and other areas from a peaceful perspective. You know, humanitarian efforts over the world doesn't have to be accomplished by having war. This is what he explained to me. So I was approached by a guy. He has a business in Texas, and he's from the Sudan. And he wanted me to talk about in a resolution gum Arabic and the banking system in the Sudan. So the missionaries that come over here to America from the Sudan explained to me that they didn't have a banking system. They had to go to Egypt to do their banking. And so he also expressed to me about gum Arabic that the product gum Arabic is used in 80% of sodas, candy all over the world. And 80% of that come from the Sudan. And they don't have control over their resources. You know, so that's just like the diamonds and the gold and anything else in Africa that they don't have control over. And you know, Africa's being pillaged and raped, and a lot of European countries, European nations are making money off of the resources in Africa. So I put together a resolution asking the UN, asking DC to correspond with my affiliate and try to make it happen to where they have a banking system and where they will have more control over their resource, which is gum Arabic. But I was going to address some things about the Congo, and he had a lot to say about the Congo. And so the thing about it is the Congo needs electricity for homes. But it's even deeper than that. Why don't you express what's going on in the Congo?
Well, we're dealing with the colonialism of Africa was made by the Europeans. And they stunted the growth of Africa. And they convinced all the people there that they would do better by becoming Europeans. And it's totally different from the traditions, what have you. And one of the things that me and another active friend of mine has been to Africa several times trying to convince them that they need to invest in American black people. Because all the other cultures in this country can always go to Italy if you're Italian, you go to Japan if you're Japanese, and you can bring money into the country to help invest, and we know better how to do that than anybody else. I mean, the Sudan has been on a war for 2 years, and nobody was covering this war. They're covering Ukraine, they're covering other places in Europe, Israel, and what have you. But this war is not being covered by the press. Congo has been in turmoil because their whole culture is based upon tribalism. And the tribes have not united themselves to understand that together, first of all the countries in the world can fit in Africa. That's how large it is. What you see, the map does not show you how large Africa is and how many countries that are there trying to strive to become wealthier. Because as you were saying, that the continent is being raped by these Europeans, and they don't know where to go. We try to convince them that they need to invest in American black people who would then help them create their wealth. You know, they send representatives to here to go to college. We were in South Africa, and there's a medical school there that trains black doctors, and they all leave South Africa to come here to make money in America as doctors, as doctors and stuff. They're brilliant, and they're passing the medical exams, but they won't go back. They won't take this knowledge and this information back to their home countries. And we've been brainwashing this country about what Africa is. I mean, first of all, you'd be surprised how modern it is. You know, it's not jungles and it's not a bunch of natives with bones in their noses anymore. And they're striving to be able to hold on to their own wealth, but they cannot do it when you bank with Europeans, because the European banks are still controlling the economics of Africa. You know, there's 33 African countries on the Atlantic coast, the Gold Coast, and they all have European backgrounds, and that's how they got brainwashed and not trusting American black people, because they believe all the hype that the press have said that we are, that we're lazy and that we're this and that. But you know, we can't communicate with them about how this system works as opposed to the colonial system, and that they can invest in the United States, invest in black people in the United States, which in turn will help them. There's a movement in Ghana to bring us home. They will give you American citizenship in Ghana if you want, in Ghana, or if you want to, because they want to be a part of the world economics. You know, it's not local anymore; it's global. And we sell things. The Chinese are doing this all over the country, all over the world, rather. Actually, in Jamaica, in South Africa, and in Egypt, and sometimes in Sudan, who they're trying to get a hold of. And they bring industry to these countries that we would like to get involved in, but it's a distrust between young people.
All right, so, you know, we the Veterans TV show and the Community TV, we hearing the problems, and we like a moment to go to some solutions. Out of the 54 nations in Africa, there's a lot that we do not see, there's a lot that we do not understand. The one issue you're talking about need to be addressed. But I would like to know, we here in America, joining hands with the sisters and brothers there, is that possible today? And what must be done? What must be done to make that happen? So we are, in the years coming, moving forward in some type of unification, knowing that there's pushback, that there's certain people who don't wish for the unification of these 54 nations. I'd like to hear from each one, please.
The person who tried to do this about 30-something years ago, Patrice Lumumba, and one of the things he wanted to do is unite Africa as one big country, and he was killed for this idea. I mean, they didn't want anybody to hear what he was saying, that they have the future in their hands. All the gold now and all the silver and the gypsum that makes computer screens or what have you is dug up in Africa. They have a bigger market that they don't understand, because they rely on the Europeans, and the Europeans are taking their money that's not flowing back to Africa. And so you're asking for a solution, is that we have to help the Africans, and especially in the poor countries, join the world economy.
Brother Antonio, what you just said was very powerful, and that's part of the solution. Writing our elected officials, what else can we here in America do? What else can we join hands with other nationalities and make this understood that this is a crisis that not just doesn't affect us as melanated people, but affects the whole planet?
So, there's a lot developing right now, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of African countries kicking out France. You know, past colonialism of Africa has recently been eradicated. You know, so it's like, and, you know, and he mentioned Ghana, and Ghana is one of those countries that got rid of France.
So again, we're hearing some good solutions. Let's start.
But one of the things that was happening is that the second biggest film industry in the world is happening in Nigeria. Netflix has made deals with the film industry in Nigeria, and now you can get African films on Star and different other channels to expand our knowledge of the African lifestyle and what it is. But we're still dealing with tribalism, and that is like a religion there. I mean, they can tell you by looking at you what your tribe was. We can't do that because slavery here in America put all the people together, and they made you forget what tribe you come from. They made you forget what language you used to have or what religion you used to have. And we were induced into thinking that we had no religion, that we had no culture, that we had no art, we had no. But you see, the alphabet came out of Africa. The numerical system came out of Africa. And it was like, that was taken. And so now everybody believes it came out of Europe, but it didn't. And Nigeria is the up-and-coming country in Africa. And we have to kind of make contact with them through our representatives because the United States don't really care about Africa.
We're hearing that the population in Africa is one of the major PowerPoints that's coming out because of the youth in Africa. We're hearing that China and the motherland, I don't want to say Africa, but the motherland, have the power because of the youth. So the future lies into those two countries, China and the motherland. Again, the question is, we need to look at how we going to bridge this communication. We need to look at what we here in America can do. And Brother Antonio, you made a good point. The people that you're contacting in the motherland has an issue with electricity and other things. There's people here that is going over to the motherland, investing in schools, investing in cities and doing different things. I hear there's entertainers going over. I believe Oprah Winfrey is also over there doing some positive things as well. What more can be done?
Oh, well, there's more communication between indigenous people of the Caribbean, Africa, and America than in recent years. Marcus Garvey talked about Pan-Africanism, and he talked about having that bridge between Black Americans and Africans over in the motherland and also in the Caribbean. Pan-Africanism, I don't know who coined that phrase, that word, or I don't know where it come from, but they label Marcus Garvey a Pan-Africanist and be Pan-Africanist, and I consider myself a Pan-Africanist in today's time.
Well, we want to let everybody know, again, everybody, you're watching We're the Veterans TV show in the community TV, and we're talking to
Antonio McCloud,
Earl Billings,
and we're down here in Winston-Salem. I want to thank my lovely volunteer man over here, came down with us, a veteran. Just in case y'all don't know, We the Veterans TV show, state to state, city to city, community to community, talking about issues, how we, the veterans, made it possible to have this type of talk show. But there's issues that's going on that a lot of veterans don't produce, don't talk about. And this is one of the topics that's very, very important because, again, we as military go around the world talking about democracy. And here in the United States, there is a pushback against democracy, and we're going to talk about that right now. But Antonio, please let us know some of your ideas. But we're going to come right back. Everybody stay tuned. We're going to come right back. Part 2. Stand by.
I appreciate that,
Mr. Billings, you know something?
bro. You're very informative.
Thank you.
Very informative.
You got one more minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to, you know, my name is Michael. I'm mainly a musician, but as you know, music, singing, dancing, acting, comedy, all goes together. So you was actually an actor in California.
Yeah.
But that's not, you know something? And especially Antonio said he's been doing this for 30 years. I've been doing this for 40 years. But it's like, it's not easy getting in a TV show. And what we got, like ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. Get on those major networks. Did you ever make it to the silver screen? Did you ever make it to the silver?
Yes, well, I was talking about several movies we made. Antoine Fisher and One False
I think
Move.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, well, directed by Denzel Washington.
Still got the camera.
Okay, yeah. Antoine, yeah.
He and I have done several plays together.
Antonio,
Several movies together.
still recording.
So what?
Still live.
Man, that's a season. That's like Harry Belafonte. Who's the other guy?
Teddy Portier.
Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby, Red Fox. But it's not easy. Like you said, 30 years.
Welcome back, everybody, to another part 2 of We the Veteran TV show in the Community TV. Again, we are talking to.
Antonio McCloud.
Earl Billings.
We're down here in Winston-Salem, event that goes on yearly. Before we go into our next topic, we're talking about the politics of what's going on. We as veterans fought for pretty much the rights of what's going on. We pay the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom that we have today that a lot of us take for granted.
I was a naval officer, and I was in the Vietnam conflict.
Oh shoot.
It has to be an understatement. My wife was in that 44,000 group on that Zoom for Vice President Harris. These sororities, these new fraternities, they raised huge amounts of money in one day because of this Zoom, followed by white women in America also having this Zoom, and they raised like $22 million rather in one day. And there's a revolution going on in this country that's not being recognized, is that the women in America are trying to change the system to the point where their bodies aren't being controlled by white men. Black women are getting major places of influence. I just found out that there's 33 black women who run Fortune 500 companies. This is not in the paper. You don't read that. You don't know what's happening. And it's incredible that this is a time for women in America to stand up and say that they're part of this whole system too. You can't take away their reproduction choices and still call yourself a democracy. They're trying to take away the women's vote again. They're trying to put women back in the kitchen, which is ridiculous because they haven't left the kitchen. They just work in the kitchen and their job at the same time.
That never happened.
So, again, we're talking about information. We're talking about how things are being rolled back. And again, like you said, we want to thank you for your service. A lot of people don't understand what we're saying when we say people are rolling back democracy, people are rolling back. There's a certain energy, there's a certain population who is not happy with progress. And by rolling back pieces of this democracy allows them to do great things, great damage to the hard work that we as veterans accomplish. Brother Antonio, you as a veteran, there's some issues that a lot of people don't talk about. And with your help, we'd like to talk about the benefits, how some veterans are not even getting their benefits. Can you talk a little bit on how important it is for veterans to get their benefits and the veteran family as well to get their benefits?
Well, I want to shake his hand because I was also Navy.
Shipmates.
Yeah, both. But the thing about it is that a lot of our military personnel come home with PTSD. You know, you don't really get no money for OCD, but I mean, you know, they teach us to pay attention to detail. By the time you get home, you're paying attention to detail a little bit too much. You know, but seriously. I mean, I got it honest, but you know, I wanted to expound on politics a little bit because, and then like I say, we need to be taken care of when we come home from a war or even just regular service. You know, the government needs to take care of us. I mean, because we really damaged goods after you get yelled at, screamed at, and you know, set up, made to be in trouble. But enough of that. But anyway, thing about it is that there's a disconnect between Kamala Harris and what I like to call my people, black people. There's a disconnect, but it's nobody's fault, really. You understand what I'm saying? But see, the thing about it is, from an executive level, Kamala Harris knows what she's doing, you know, but I think certain types of black people don't understand where she's at with it, as far as what need to be done and the scope of what America really is. You know, it's a whole different ball game in DC versus going to work every day. Being at home in your city, it's a whole nother ball of wax, and that's the part where the disconnect is. You know, so. But the thing about it is, the way we're supporting her right now, once she get in office, I feel like it'll be reciprocated. You know what I'm saying?
Good words. I mean, so let's take it a deep further. So we talk about people, we talk about economics, right? And sometimes we play this race card, but we all are affected. I mean, Brother Dick Gregory says, it's all right with the dog biting me. But when the dog start biting you, that's when you have an issue. So right now I feel some of these people, the dog is biting them, and they're saying things that we used to say back in the 60s about the government. It's being regenerated by these people who always had, to me, a silver spoon in their mouth. And now, all of a sudden, the silver spoon is not in their mouth no more. Speak about that, please.
Well, I think that's mythology. The media makes you think that all white people are rich, that they have special privileges. But look at several states like Mississippi, Alabama, what have you. They're the poorest states in the country. You know, you and I growing up, we had to take civics classes in junior high school, in high school. That's been thrown out. And nobody teaches you how the system works anymore. Now, Vice President Harris has really, in a few weeks, united all these women across the country. And the men who are following behind him saying, yes, this is time we can raise money like that. She has an war chest now of almost $100 million that she did in a couple of weeks. People are pouring money into her campaign because it cannot continue the way it is. And this is groundswelling because, look, they wanted to get rid of Biden, who had a great presidency, talking about his age and stuff. We used to trust old people. The old people were not the problem in this country, you know. And we need now maybe to let women take control of certain things, because they call it the motherland. Without women, we wouldn't be here. And you have to tell some of these Republicans to say, you know, what you're talking about is against your mother, against your sister, against your female children. They have an important part to play in this country and the politics of this country and what democracy is supposed to be. Democracy scares people because democracy makes you be a part of the system, and we're trying to not be that, and that's stupid.
All right, so basically we have some things going on. So we want to keep this going on and making sure there's no things. Can we talk a little bit about people not voting, people not believing that they're not voting? All right. So how do we do that? How do we get the young people voting? How do we get the young people to understand that politics is very, very important?
They have to understand that they have a stake in this country. And right now, many young people are seeing, we've asked them, go to college and you can have a middle class life. And that's not the case, because some of these kids have the huge school bill. You know, they took out these huge loans with 17-year-olds who didn't know how a compound interest works for the businesses and stuff. And how do you let them realize that they have a bigger stake now than they ever had in their whole lives? And Carmela has managed to rejuvenate young people in this country who are also feeling that maybe it's time to let women control things, let them run things, because it's like having your mother become president. See who has compassion. And these guys, you're dealing with businesses who don't have no compassion. We have 5 companies in this country that controls all of the stores, all of the grocery stores, and all the food sources. That's not democracy. We have an American oligarch that's working. And all of a sudden you realize that you're not working for your own interests. You work in the interest of big government and big corporations.
Once again, everybody, you're listening to 2 of the most, I'm going to put it out there, one of the most mind-blowing things that you need to listen to. We got Mr.
Antonio McCloud
and
Earl Billings.
This is what it must. We the Veteran TV show, we're coming right back.
Hey, you can wrap it up.
As an example of how divided this country is, what are they arguing about?
I don't know. I think testosterone taking over.
Mr. Will you be here tomorrow? Yeah, I hope, because I have my, for me it's just interesting, especially in Florida, he did for 30 years, and so you was actually out in California.
That's all that work.
I do apologize, man. I mean, sometimes you can't control what's outside.
Well, I mean, but now one thing downtown DC with the major networks, you can't control it. Maybe on the south, but you can't control that, man. That's part of,
Somebody wants to politics is local.
Yeah.
And the Republicans understand that. They've been slowly putting MAGA people in high positions in the government.
Exactly.
Slowly.
Can we get that? Can we get that?
Man, shit, I've been in DC for 30 years. Mr. Billings, right?
Yeah.
If you was in my shoes I've been in DC for 30 years. Born there 67 years ago. Tried to run for Congress 6 times. Been clean for 40. DC is I learned scheming senators and crooked congresspeople scheming against your own people, man.
Of course.
He says, of course.
Yes.
Welcome back, everybody. Your man Abdul Shaheed. We had a little issue going on because we can't control what's going on around us. I want to thank everybody for coming in so far. While we was discussing something very, very important was said, and I think y'all guys need to hear it again. All right? Please, can you repeat the last statement about the setup, how people being put in certain positions because it is strategy.
It's been a strategy of the mega people ever since the 2016 election. And they've been putting people in different positions in local governments, in governorships, in the federal government, head of some of the agencies. For instance, the post office. Trump put his old man in the post office, and your mail comes gets to your house like it's 5 o'clock now, because they're slowing down the whole deal, and they cause this distrust of government, and that's what all these people are trying to do, is make you think democracy doesn't work. Democracy is hard. Democracy is working against you. It is not. It's big business, and it's greedy politicians that are making it hard to live. There's no inflation. There's no inflation. You know, I mean, the CEOs are making millions of dollars. They wouldn't do that if they hadn't convinced you that you should spend your last dime at a Starbucks. You know, you're paying $6 for coffee. You know, it's that they keep raising the prices, and everybody keeps thinking, well, it's inflation. No, it's greed. And greed is what made this country the way it is today, because there's nobody who looks out for us. Nobody looks out for us. Now, we veterans here, and we know that we made a promise when we joined the service or we were drafted, whatever, to protect and preserve the Constitution, not the president, not Congress, not the Supreme Court, the Constitution. And everybody who served in the military, that's where our loyalty is. Now they're talking about a silly civil war, which will never happen, because we know better. We know how it should work. And we're being taken over by a rapist, a man who's every business he got involved in failed. You see, the president can't be a CEO, but we have no product to sell except service. That's what the government does, gives service. The military protects us. You know, he can't use it as his personal army or his personal bodyguards. It's not what the government is for. It's to help us live our lives in a decent kind of way. And when they take that away, everybody gets confused. And they start hating their neighbors. They think their neighbor's doing better than they are. It's not true. It's not true. I mean, the average salary in America now is $59,000. You know, when I was growing up, it was like 10. So the money is going like a vacuum, like a Hoover. The money's going to the top, and people can't get paid. They made you think that unions were your enemy. Unions have always been our friend. Union was run by people who want to see working people have enough money to feed their families. We shouldn't have a guy running his family, and he can't do it off one salary. You know, there was a time when a guy could feed his family, pay his mortgage off one salary. But then they brought the women into the market, and people think, well, that was for a good thing, but it wasn't. It was to stop you from getting the raises you should get, because they say, well, you have a working wife, so that should help. You got working children, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. The man should be able to support his family, and they took that away from us.
Well, you know what? I'm going to applaud you again for the knowledge that you're sharing with us. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to a part 2.
Well, let's see what happens, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Your man Abdul Shaheed. We're here with
Earl Billings.
and
Antonio McCloud.
thank you again, everybody. Until the next time, we're the Veterans TV Show.
Thank you.